Hello and welcome to Wendell's Guide to soloing ICC 25-man Lich King as a hunter. So pretty much this fight, mechanic wise, there's two main things you gotta do. One is you gotta try and make sure you're above 90% health for an ability class called Infest, which if you're below 90% health, you're basically screwed and it'll kill you. The other is you need to make sure you are considered the tank for almost the duration of this fight, which that will basically negate the Valkyries in the second phase and third phase from picking you up. So basically, in order to make the fight think you're a tank, once per minute you have to be meleeed by either a Raging Spirit or the Lich King himself. As long as you're meleeed at least once, then for 1 minute after you've been meleeed, you'll be considered a tank and not be picked up by the Valkyries. So for the first phase, while we still have these pillars, what you want to do is you actually want to use the pillars to line of sight the Lich King whenever he casts his Infest. He'll summon ads and everything, but you just gotta MD the ads onto your pet, and just keep MDing all the ads that spawn onto your pet. Occasionally he'll cast something called Neurotic Plague on you, right there. That'll deal a bunch of damage, which will actually lower you below 80 or below 90%. You can see I got lowered there. And the problem is, if you're below 90%, when he casts Infest, it'll basically kill you. So, in this phase, you can see he's casting Infest right now. If you line of sight the Infest, you will actually not have to worry about it, and the Infest won't hit you. But this is the only phase where you can do that, because after this first phase, he takes away these pillars, so you won't be able to line of sight the Infest anymore. Just make sure that you keep line of sighting the Infest in the first phase and MDing and multi-shotting all the ads onto your pet as well. You're just going to AoE all the ads down pretty much. You can't line of sight the Necrotic Plague, unfortunately, but as long as you keep using Chimera Shot and cooldown, you should be good. So once the boss has reached, I think, 70%, you'll go into phase 2, which is where basically you'll go towards the outer edge of the platform and the boss will go towards the center, and there won't be any more pillars, but pretty much at that point you're just going to like AoE down the remaining ads. So you can see he's going to phase 2, so I gotta make sure I'm out here. If you get beyond probably about where I'm standing right now, if you get beyond that point, you're going to start taking a lot more damage. But as long as you make sure you're on the outer part, you won't take as much damage. But just go ahead and AoE down and multi-shot and misdirect all the ads onto your pet. You'll get Raging Spirits that spawn. Just MD them onto your pet. Those Raging Spirits, however, just be aware that if they melee you, you will be considered a tank from 1 minute after they've meleeed you. But they're the only mobs outside of the Lich King himself that will make you a tank on this fight if they melee you. The other thing you gotta look out for is Ice Spheres. If they touch you, you'll get knocked off the platform. So generally you can kind of AoE them down, usually. But if they don't get AoE down, you'll have to manually target and kill them. So now that we're in the third phase, basically how this works is he'll still cast Infest, so you need to make sure you're above 90% when he does that. But at this point you need to basically keep all the ads, or try to do your best to keep all the ads on the boss. So you can see he cast Infest on me, but I was above 9%, so it went away. He also cast Defile. Just make sure you get out of that quickly as possible, or it'll grow and grow and grow and then kill everyone. Yeah, just get out of Defile, but that's not too hard of a mechanic. So you can see he's cast Infest on me. Actually I was below 90%. If I hadn't Chimera shot when I did, I probably would have been dead. But yeah, you need to make sure A, you're above 90% at all points, and B, probably I would recommend after every Infest, actually, just distracting shot the Lich King. Turn off your pet's auto growl and distracting shot the Lich King after every Infest. And then that way you'll have time before the next Infest goes out, and you can take a 1 or 2 hits from the Lich King and be considered a tank for that 1 minute. You'll have time to self-heal at that point. You can just take a few hits, feign death, self-heal, and then Infest will go out again, take a few hits, feign death, self-heal. So you can see he's doing Infest again. I'm over 90%, so it goes away. And again, the reason you need to make sure you're once per minute you're meleeing the boss is if you don't, these Valkyries that are coming down will pick you up and throw you off the platform. Defile, just make sure you move out of it. So if you get Defile on you, just pretty much keep running until you're out of the black stuff. The other thing you can do is, if you don't want to turn auto growl off and you don't want a distracting shot, you can always just full on dismiss your pet, and that'll cause you to get aggro very fast. Now you can just resummon your pet. See, like, I just dismissed my pet, got aggro really fast, and now I'm going to resummon my pet and feign death. And then Chimera shot and cooldown to get my health back. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to actually have a little stopwatch as well, so you can, every time you get meleeed, you can do a countdown and figure out how much time you have left before you need to get meleeed again. I was kind of sloppy. This was my first kill with them, so I wasn't sure entirely what I was doing with the whole soloing. I was like, Infest, I'm above 90%. At pretty much around 40% or so, he'll go into the 4th phase. Yeah, 4th phase. And at this point, it's pretty much a repeat of phase 2. You'll get Raging Spirits. You can just go ahead and MD him onto your pet. Lich King will be in the center. Just make sure you're on the outer edge of the platform. Again, if the Raging Spirits attack you or melee you, for 1 minute after they've meleeed you, you'll be considered a tank. But preferably you want the Lich King himself to be the one who melees you, just because I'm a little fishy about them, their ability to turn you into a tank. But it's up to you. You can see pretty much my Glaive Toss kills those little ice spheres as well. So I'm just AoEing all the ads down, and generally the ice spheres will go with them. But again, once you get past this phase, then you need to make sure you're currently killing all the ice spheres, followed by all the Raging Spirits and ads. You do need to make sure that you're also tanking the Lich King again every minute, which I actually don't do that here, and it almost screws me over. So I get something called Harvest Soul. See, I was almost about to like go off, He casts Harvest Soul. If he casts it on you, you just need to. You're basically put inside the sword, and you just need to quickly kill whoever you see inside there. Um, I don't know what happened here. I actually should have been thrown off the edge, but something happened, and I got super lucky. I actually got thrown onto the edge. I think like the Raging Spirit went after me or something. I was like, ah. Yeah. See, they're trying to pick me up, but I don't know. So you can see how important it is. If you don't, normally they'll just full on go after you and just kill you, drop you off the edge. I think I bugged it out or something where they didn't do that, but yeah. Um, this final phase, once you've killed the Raging Spirit as well, basically he'll cast these Vile Spirits. Literally, all you need to do with the Vile Spirits, you can like put a Frost Trap down if you want, but all you need to really do with them is just run around the room in a giant circle, and if you run long enough, they will actually just go back into the air. Like, they won't even hit you. So if you run long enough, they won't even hit you. I was actually getting hit, which was a very bad idea. Plus, I dismissed my pet, which was also a very bad idea. I was like, no. Yeah, that was kind of stupid for me to do. Yeah, I would highly recommend, rather than dismissing your pet, you just turn your pet's auto growl off. That will make, and then distracting shot, that would probably be a lot better. I would personally say. Dismissing your pet's kind of dangerous. Once the Lich King hits 10%, don't freak out like I did just there. I was actually freaking out, going, oh god, they just killed me. No, I was so close. No, what happened was, once the Lich King hits about 10% or so, you've won. You'll have 2 minutes, 20 seconds of roleplay, and then from there, it's literally just a matter of killing them once you get res. You can see there's still a bunch of Vile Spirits and everything in the air. But that's pretty much it. So pretty much phase 1, make sure that you tank the boss near one of the pillars, and then MD all the adds onto your pet. And whenever he casts Infest, make sure you line of sight that. Phase 2, MD any Raging Spirits that spawn onto your pet and AoE all the adds down. Make sure you avoid the spheres, kill them. Phase 3, finish off all the adds. Every single minute you want to make sure you are distracting shotting the Lich King and taking at least 1 melee hit by him in order to be considered a tank, which will avoid the mechanic of the Valkyries picking you up. Phase 4, repeat of Phase 2, just every time a Raging Spirit spawns, empty it onto your pet. Also, make sure in Phase 3 that you're also above 90% for the Infest. Phase 4, repeat of Phase 2, just make sure you... I think I just said that actually, yeah. So, just make sure you kill all the adds, MD Raging Spirit onto your pet, kill the spheres. Phase 5, try and finish off all the adds. Make sure you're still, every minute, you're tanking the Lich King, take a hit or two, and then feign death. And literally just run in a giant circle around the platform to avoid being hit by both the file and by the little spirits swarms that will come after you, and eventually they'll go back in the air. And at 10% you'll die and pretty much win. So you can see now it's literally just kill him. He doesn't do anything to you at all. It's just pew pew pew. But again, don't freak out like I did. Like, oh god, no. So, hope you found this guide helpful, and thanks for watching.
Father, is it over?
At long last. No king rules forever, my son.
I see. Only darkness before me.
Without its master's command, the restless scourge will become an even greater threat to this world. Control must be maintained. There must always be a Lich King.
The weight of such a burden. It must be mine, for there is no other.
Tyrion! You hold a grim destiny in your hands, brother. But it is not your own.
Bolvar! By all that is holy.
The dragon's flame seal my fate. The world of the living can no longer comfort me. Place the crown upon my head, Tyrion. Forevermore, I will be the jailer of the damned.
No, old friend. I cannot.
Do it, Tyrion! You and these brave heroes have your own destinies to fulfill. This last act of service is mine.
You will not be forgotten, brother.
I must be forgotten, Tyrion. If the world is to live free from the tyranny of fear, they must never know what was done here today. Tell them only that the Lich King is dead, and that Bolvar Dragon died with him. Now, go. Leave this place and never return.